planning a trip to Miyajima, don't make the same mistakes that thousands of tourists do. Did you know that visiting just a few hours too early or too late can completely change what you'll see? In this video, I'll share my top 5 essential tips, including the best time to see the famous floating Torii gate, which ferry gives you the best views for free, the biggest mistake people make with Miyajima's friendly deer, and the must-try local foods you can't leave without tasting. Let's make sure you experience Miyajima the right way. Whether you want to see the great Torii gate floating on the water, or walk right underneath it for a closer look, timing is everything. If you visit at the right time, you'll get to see the famous floating Itsukushima Shrine. Otherwise, it will just look like a regular shrine sitting on land. So here's the first tip, and probably the most important one, if you only have a full day or even half a day in Miyajima and want to make the most of your visit. Check the high and low tide times before you go. You can find the tide schedule on their official website. One important thing to know, don't switch to the English version of the site. The tide timetable is only available on the Japanese version. Just click the tide icon, select the date you're planning to visit Miyajima, and then click the light gray button. The site will show you the best times to walk up close to the Great Torii Gate and when you can see the shrine floating on the water. With that information, you can easily plan your visit and experience both incredible views, even if you're short on time. Besides the famous Itsukushima Shrine, another big attraction on Miyajima is the deer. They're everywhere. People say the deer here are gentler and friendlier than the ones in Nara, and after spending some time around them, I totally agree. They're incredibly well behaved. You don't have to worry about them chasing you, but here's the second important tip. Don't keep anything sticking out of your pockets. They might grab it with their mouths, even if it's just a piece of paper. So don't put your JR pass or ferry ticket in your pocket. They might end up eating your expensive ticket. But honestly, they're so cute and gentle. I've heard they spend most of the day up in the mountains, come down to wander around the island, and then head back up in the evening. If you're only planning to spend half a day in Miyajima, make sure you come here with an empty stomach. Miyajima Shopping Street is packed with trendy, modern shops and restaurants. This restaurant is famous for its giant oysters. Besides the huge oyster right in front of me, they also serve all kinds of fresh local seafood. The grilled oysters are massive too. They barely shrink at all after cooking. They're super popular. Oysters are often called the milk of the sea, and these ones are incredibly fresh with zero fishy taste. A squeeze of lemon makes them even better. You can also try them in yuzu sauce. Vinegar, green onions, fish roes, or grated daikon radish. After that, I checked out another spot and tried some deep-fried oysters. They were super fresh, crispy on the outside, tender on the inside. So good! And if oysters aren't your thing, don't worry. There are plenty of other options to choose from. We just walked into another really unique shop. I think it's pretty new. What makes it special is that it serves a variety of cocktails made with local Hiroshima ingredients. For example, they've got lemon-based cocktails. I also really like the interior design. It's super stylish, lots of wood, and shelves lined with bottles. It feels simple, elegant, and really well thought out. Another must-try in Miyajima is Miyajimaguchi, the famous maple leaf-shaped cake. There are so many different versions. You can get the traditional ones filled with sweet fillings, but there's also a fried version, like the one I'm holding right now. I got the red bean filling, and it honestly reminds me a little of Japanese sponge cake. You can enjoy all kinds of Hiroshima specialty foods here on Miyajima Shopping Street, relax in different cafes and restaurants, and do so many other activities around the island. Honestly, half a day just isn't enough. The following tips are all about the transport. Getting to Miyajima is a two-step journey. First, you'll travel from Hiroshima to Miyajimaguchi, and then you'll transfer to a ferry at Miyajimaguchi Terminal to reach Miyajima Island. From Hiroshima to Miyajimaguchi, you can take either the JR West Senio Line or Hiroshima streetcar route 2 to Miyajimaguchi Station. From there, it's just a short walk to the Miyajimaguchi Ferry Terminal, where you can catch a ferry to Miyajima. To get to the island, you'll need to take a Miyajima ferry. There are 2 ferry operators that run services between Miyajimaguchi and Miyajima. Miyajima Matsudai Kisen Ferry, and the JR West Miyajima Ferry. The ferry ride only takes about 10 minutes, and both ferries cost the same and arrive at the same place. You can buy your ferry ticket at the ticket counter, or ride for free if you have one of the transportation passes listed below. Just keep in mind that different passes are valid for different ferry operators. So we put together a handy chart below to make it easier. JR passes for the Kansai region can only be used on the JR West Miyajima Ferry. The Hiroshima one-day streetcar and ferry pass can only be used on the Miyajima Matsudai Kisen Ferry. The Visit Hiroshima Tourist Pass is the only pass that lets you ride both the Miyajima Matsudai Kisen Ferry and the JR West Miyajima Ferry. If you're planning a trip to Miyajima, one thing you need to know is that the ferry ride isn't just transportation. It's actually part of the experience. So which one should you take? If it's your first time visiting Miyajima, the JR ferry is usually the better choice because it operates a special route that passes much closer to the famous floating Torii gate. You'll get amazing views and great photo opportunities without paying anything extra. For the best views, try to sit or stand on the right side of the ferry when heading to the island. The Matsudai Kisen ferry takes a more direct route, so it can sometimes be slightly quicker. If the JR ferry line is long, you can simply take whichever ferry is leaving first. Many travelers take the JR ferry to the island for the Torii gate views, and then use either company on the return trip. Another good thing to know is that the ferry ride is usually very smooth because the Seto Inland Sea is calm. Even people who get seasick generally don't have any problems. Most passengers head straight to the outdoor deck to enjoy the ocean breeze and watch the Torii gate come into view. Once you arrive at Miyajima Pier, you'll find tourist information, restrooms, souvenir shops, and easy access to the island's main attractions. From the ferry terminal, it's only about a 10-minute walk to Itsukushima Shrine and the famous floating Torii gate. Now, let's enjoy the scenery of this Miyajima Island. One of Miyajima's most famous landmarks is right in front of me, the Great Torii Gate of Itsukushima Shrine. We got really lucky today because we arrived during low tide, which means we can actually walk right up to the gate. This low tide experience isn't something you can see every day, and the view is completely different from when the tide is high and the gate appears to float in the sea. If you want to walk out and see the Torii gate up close, make sure to check the official tide schedule beforehand. The Torii gate was also recently renovated and reopened at the end of 2022, so what we're seeing now is the newly restored version. It's one of Japan's 3 most famous Torii gates and stands about 16 meters tall. Seeing it in person is honestly breathtaking. From a distance, it didn't seem all that huge, but once you walk right up to it, the sheer size is incredible. And with the ocean view behind it, I really think it's worth planning your visit around low tide. In the past, the entire island of Miyajima was considered sacred ground, and ordinary people weren't allowed to enter freely. The island is dedicated to 3 goddesses who symbolize safe voyages, wealth, and the arts. The Itsukushima Shrine itself is also very historic, with a history stretching back about 1,400 years. It's considered one of Japan's national treasures. The shrine has close ties to the powerful Taira clan, one of Japan's aristocratic families. Members of the Taira clan once held important positions related to the shrine, and under their influence it became increasingly prosperous, even after the Taira clan fell from power. Later rulers continued to maintain and support the shrine, which is why it has remained so important and well-preserved to this day. I hope these 5 tips help you make the most of your visit to Miyajima and make your trip even more memorable. If you're planning to explore more of Japan, be sure to check out my other videos, where I'll take you to some of the most beautiful and historic temples in Kyoto and Osaka, along with plenty of practical travel tips to help you plan your journey.